Welcome to Hash Vlog. Make yourself at home. Welcome to Hash Vlog on your PC, TV, or phone.
What's up, beautiful people? Today's Tez Tones Tuesday, and we're going to be working on our project Tez Tones, which is a sports league for artists. In just under 90 minutes, we have coming up a space, our weekly workspace on Twitter/X, and we're going to do for the first time in a long time, in a couple of years, we're going to be having the second half of the space in Spanish, because there's been a bunch of artists speaking Spanish from Argentina and beyond that have been showing up and been really friendly lately. So we're going to see if we can't just kind of bridge that community a little bit and maybe recruit some people to season 3 of Tez Tones, which is going to be coming up middle to end of this summer. So quite excited for that. Bosque Gracias is going to be helping us for the Spanish half because they're fluent in Spanish and I'm not so fluent. But excited to just kind of be, a fly on the wall a little, listen and be a part of that also. Not just a fly on the wall, but, not as active as not a super native Spanish speaker. But something I want to work on. And don't trip. But it is something I want to work on. And I don't want to visit them in Argentina, so learning Spanish, pretty useful skill at this point.
En estos espacios donde estamos creando Tez Tones, me siento cómoda. ¿Vos llegaste a conocer, a escuchar lo que tiene que ver Tez Tones?
No solo la performance en vivo, de poder ver artistas vivos haciendo las cosas en el momento, porque digamos no es algo que vos traes armado de la semana, sino que es algo que se hace en el momento. Y bueno, puede ser intenso porque el tiempo nunca alcanza para terminar una obra.
Little post-meeting walk. A lot of people joined, so it was really nice. We had a good first hour in English, and then the second hour, little more than an hour in English, and the second hour in Spanish. It was lovely. So cool to just meet and see new artists and have them get the idea and like it and just be super stoked on it. Even to the point where we're halfway through talking, hearing them talk, which was amazing to me. I was surprised how much Spanish I could actually understand. Every once in a while I'll get lost, especially if I start thinking of a response to something in Spanish. It'll derail all my comprehension for a good 15 seconds. But for the most part, I want to say I understood 75% at least. It's pretty solid. But to the point where we were thinking halfway through the match or halfway through the conversation, started thinking, what if we get a Spanish announcer for some of the games? What if we lean into this a bit, right? Let's lean into where there might be an audience or artists or just participation in general. What was that sound? So why not? Looking into the ways we can incorporate and lean into some of these things. Pivot, have fun, find community, comunidad, wherever it is. We shall see. We're going to do next week's space in Spanish also. Second half, it's going to kind of keep the train moving. Planning to have the Tez Tones season start kind of end of July. If anything, early August would be the latest, hopefully. So keep planning as we have TezCon coming up. Get some specifics in place. Reach out for some funding. Try to find some sponsors for teams or the league in general. And see what we can't do with this crazy idea of ours. Sports League for Artists. Vamos! And a big thank you to Bosque Gracias, Mariano, and Rocio for helping out, speaking in Spanish, co-hosting, and just being awesome collaborators in this whole Tez Tones endeavor. Stoked to... That's one of the coolest things about Tez Tones, right? This whole project is just the people we've found along the ways, the friends we've made and stuff that I never would have met otherwise around the world. I legitimately am trying to plan to visit them in Argentina now, after meeting them in this sports league for artists that they joined, that we created. Get off the microphone, fly. It'll be interesting to see if we can hear that. But right, how crazy is that in and of itself? Just being grateful for all that and the connections and just kind of following the path and seeing where it goes, taking the path of least resistance. Be like the water, what Bruce Lee said. We got to be the water. We got to follow the form of the cup, of the teapot.
Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. Put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
It really is pretty crazy sailing into this next Tez Tone season and realizing how much we've just been like winging it, creating this from scratch and just following, you know, our intuition with everything. Also makes me realize how many opportunities we had last season that we could have reached out to that we didn't really. Like we put all our eggs in a couple baskets and then didn't follow up with some of the more accessible, easy to do things. So feeling pretty good about some of our different options. And pretty hopeful that we can make some stuff work. Also getting some more people to sign up for the forum today. The homie Carson called and was like, you know what, dude, I think I might just sign up. Like, why not? Worst case, I have to drop out. Which, you know, of course, we want commitment from people, but it's also one of those things where, yeah, no one knows if they'll be here at any point in life, you know, if stuff will come up or not. So, like, maybe we just encourage people to try, and worst case, we figure it out if they gotta drop out, you know? And just kind of approaching life like that a little more. Like, you know what, let's just go for it. Let's not be too afraid of different things. Doing some more translations of some of our like posts and stuff into Spanish and getting that out a little bit more. And just feels good. Feels good to keep it all moving energetically. One of the main things actually brought up a decent bit in the space today, which made me honestly super happy, was like, hey, we can do more with the content we're already making. Like the matches, Mariana was saying, you know, the highlights, because I was making some YouTube shorts last season.
It is what it is. We technically probably got a few more minutes than the other team. It's technically a slightly unfair advantage. Well,
I think that because you are on our team.
That's not true. Don't even say that. You're making me as a commissioner look bad.
I give you the money later.
No, stop it. Nico, you're not helping anything out. I swear, guys, this is not corruption. And then halfway through the season, I just kind of like lost the steam to do that myself. But Mariano saying, yeah, those are potential gold mines for stuff to go viral, and the process. And Ryan jumping in and saying similarly, like, yeah, watching artists create and the whole process of the piece. And then Inza talking about similar stuff and the excitement of it and all that. It's like, all these different elements of what we have going are like perfect. We just need to be able to, from the full match, edit down shorter matches, which we had one edited down based off someone on Fiverr from the 4-hour match into like a half-hour episode. And to me, that's kind of the magic, is turning it into what would be more like a TV episode, a highlight, is it cake and Iron Chef kind of experience of a shorter thing. And then having that as like the middle ground, the shorts bring them to say, hey, let's maybe check out the episodes. And then from that thinking, wait, maybe I want to see, oh wow, there's a spider hanging off of our camera. Let's see if we can get him. There he is. You see him on the stick? Probably not. Hang in there. Let's put him on a bush. But yeah, the whole goal is to really have the multi-layered approach, because I think live streaming and stuff is pretty huge, what with Netflix getting into the NFL, YouTube, a lot of like online platforms realizing how much live sports and just live stuff in general is big. So honing in on that, but then using that and those matches that we record as the blueprint, as the raw material to make the shorts and make all that other stuff. We really do have actually like a genius content engine. We just haven't really been like even taking advantage of it. We haven't thrown the wheels on, you know, we haven't taken full advantage of all that we can. So having people be like, hey, let's figure out a way to make more shorts, get them subtitled in Spanish. Maybe let's get a Spanish announcer that can even have some of those clips go viral in Spanish, like a co-commentator, right? Have maybe me in English and a Spanish co-commentator, and we could kind of trade off a little bit. That could be sweet. The idea is flowing. The idea is flowing. Thanks for watching my vlog. Watch another or subscribe here.